There is a lot of noise around AI right now, and the founders who are doing well with it aren't the ones who understand it the best. They are the ones who approach it like a business owner. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like and how to get started with it today. If we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Thea. I'm a former CFO, business owner, and the creator of Calm, where we help founders scale from 6 figures to 7 in a way that protects both their profit and their joy. I use AI every day in my business, and I help the founders I support to use it in theirs. The pattern I keep seeing is this: founders either put it off entirely or they try and go and learn everything about it, get completely overwhelmed, and end up back in the same place, not actually using it. The ones I see thriving with it, the ones using AI to dramatically change how their business operates, are the ones who understand the 5 things I'm going to show you now. And by the way, none of them are technical. And then at the end of this video, once you've got those, I'm going to show you where this actually leads at a business level, because there's a bigger picture here that becomes very clear once you see it. But you need the 5 things first. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually going on here. AI is one of the biggest shifts in how business operates that we've seen, well, ever. And everybody knows that on some level. You've probably said some version of, I need to look into that properly, more than once. And every time you go near it, there are 100 tools, thousands of opinions, and lots of people making it sound like you need to rewire your entire operation overnight. So it just stays there on the list. But there's this looming question of, will AI actually replace me? So here's the truth on that. It's not necessarily that AI is going to replace you. However, somebody running a very similar business to yours who gets better at using AI is going to be faster, cheaper, and more efficient than you. That is the competitive reality right now across every industry, and it's moving quickly. So you do need to engage with it. But the way to engage with it is not to try and learn every tool or treat it as some enormous project you'll get to next quarter. The way to engage with it is to treat it like any other operational lever, which as a business owner, you already know how to do. Let me show you what I mean by this. If you already run a business well, none of these will feel unfamiliar. They're the same principles you'd apply to anything. You just haven't applied them to AI yet. But before we get into them, there's one habit I want you to start immediately if you haven't already. Start recording every meeting, every call, every conversation with an AI note taker. Whether that's Fathom, Granola, or the AI features built straight into Zoom. It does not matter which one. It matters that you're capturing it, because the efficiency of AI really comes into its own once you're feeding it real information about your business. How do you think about things? How do you talk about your expert topics? What's happening in your client conversations, your prospect calls, your internal meetings, your partner discussions? All of it. Right now, all of that knowledge disappears the moment the call ends. When you start capturing it, you build a library of how your business actually works in your own words. And that becomes incredibly powerful material to work with when you bring it into AI. So start there. Turn on an AI note taker for everything and let it run in the background. It's seamless, it takes no extra effort, and it changes what becomes possible with everything I'm about to show you. This is the single biggest thing I can tell you. Do not go and try to learn AI. Do not sign up for a masterclass on prompt engineering. Do not spend 3 weeks researching which tools do what. First, download a tool called Cowork. It's a desktop app built on Claude, which is the main AI tool I use for everything. I recommend starting here because it doesn't feel like a tech tool. You open it, you tell it what you're working on, and it goes and does things for you. It takes actions, works with your files, builds things. It's not a chatbot giving you information back. It's closer to having someone sat next to you doing the work with you. Once you've got that, pick one process, one small, boring, repetitive process that you already run in your business. Maybe it's how you onboard a new client. Maybe it's how you write your weekly update to the team. Maybe it's how you review your numbers each month. Something specific, something you already do. And then open Cowork and say, here's what I currently do. How could we approach this differently? Or here's the outcome I'm looking for. Help me build something around it. That is it. That's the starting point. The reason that this works is that you learn the tool through the use case. You discover what it's good at, where it needs more direction, what it can and can't do. all in the context of something real. You're not learning in the abstract, you're building something that actually helps your business from day one. There are so many different AI tools and so many different ways to apply them. You won't know which ones you need until you have a specific problem to solve. If you try and go and learn all the tools first and then come back and apply them, it's the wrong way round. You very quickly get overwhelmed and you end up doing nothing. So start with a use case and let the use case tell you what you need to learn. Once you've picked your use case, resist the urge to just jump in and start building too quickly. Take time to scope it out first. What's the outcome you're looking for? What's important? What matters and what doesn't matter so much? And what definitely shouldn't be in there? I take quite a long time on this step. If I'm working on a process that has multiple stages, I'll often draw those stages out in something like Canva or Miro just so I can see the full picture. Those stages might change as I start working with the AI, but having that overall map means I'm not going down rabbit holes. I know what I'm trying to build towards. Again, this is just how good business owners operate. You wouldn't start building a new service offering without scoping it out first. You wouldn't restructure your team without thinking through the roles. AI is the same. The thinking you do before you touch the tool is what determines whether you end up with something useful or something you'll abandon after a week. So write it down, be specific, a design document, a flow diagram, even just bullet points on a notebook, whatever works for you. Just make sure you've thought it through before you start. Remember, I said co-work is closer to having somebody sat next to you and doing the work with you. That means you want to treat it exactly like you would treat a human you were delegating to. If you were handing a task to a new team member, you wouldn't just say, sort this out and walk away. You'd explain what you want. You'd explain what you don't want. You'd give them the context they need. You'd tell them what good looks like. AI is exactly the same. The more clearly you communicate what you're looking for, the better the output. Don't assume it's super intelligent and can work it all out for itself. Give it the right information, give it enough depth, be specific about the outcome. The founders I see getting the best results from AI are the ones who are already good at delegating, because it turns out the skill is the same. You're directing work, not doing it, and that's a skill that you already have. This one is about how AI actually processes work, and it took me a little while to realize. It's worth understanding because it changes your results immediately. The instinct is to give AI one big instruction that asks it to go and do everything at once. Like, go to these 10 documents, combine what you find, and write me a strategy. And it will try, but when you ask it to gather information from lots of places and produce an output in a single go, it misses things, it picks the wrong bits, it gets confused about which source said what. The more you ask it to hold in one pass, the less reliable the output. And the fix is simple: break it into stages. I'll give you an example from my own business. When I ask AI to help with content, I don't say, write me a post. I break it into stages. Step 1, go to my content bank and pull out possible topics. Step 2, decide on a topic based on what I haven't covered recently. Step 3, write me a hook using my hook guidelines. Step 4, write the body of the post. Step 5, check the post against my writing rules to make sure it doesn't break any of them. Step 6, audit the full post as if you were me. Step 7, present the final version. Each step builds on the last, and each one has a clear job. And the quality of what comes out the end is dramatically better than if I just said, write me a post. This is systems thinking, and it's the same principle you'd use to build any process in your business. You would break it into stages, you'd define what each stage does, and you'd run them in sequence. AI responds brilliantly to that. In co-work, you can actually save these multi-step workflows as skills, so you build them once and run them again and again. That's when it starts compounding. The final one is the most important and the simplest. Don't make this a project. Don't put it into next quarter's plan. Don't wait until you've got a spare afternoon to look at AI. Download Cowork, open it, pick one small process in your business, describe what you currently do and ask it how you could approach it differently, or tell it the outcome you're looking for and let it suggest an approach. Then go back and forth, refine it, build from there. You will learn more in 1 hour of doing this than you would in a full day of watching tutorials or reading articles about AI strategy, because you'll be learning in context with a real use case, building something that actually serves your business. And that is the not so sexy, grounded business owner's approach. Not the flashy AI is going to change the world approach. Just pick one lever, build it properly, make it work. Same as everything else. Now, here's the thing I said I'd come back to at the end. Everything I've just walked you through is about getting started. You personally getting past the barrier and understanding what AI can do and how it fits into your business. And that's the right first step, but it won't stay there. Once you and your team start seeing what's possible, what tends to happen is that different people start building different things in different corners of the business, which is great energy. But if there's no top down thinking, you end up with disconnected tools and knowledge that lives in one person's setup that can't be accessed by everybody else, and a lot of individual effort that doesn't join up. So here's the progression. Right now, this video is about getting you in and getting your hands dirty, getting comfortable, getting your team members doing the same. Once you've all started to understand what AI can actually do, that's when you need to step back and have a bigger conversation. How does this work at a business level? Where are the processes that cut across departments? Where should we be building shared systems rather than individual ones? How do we make sure what one person builds is accessible to everybody else? That's the shift from individual process thinking to whole business systems thinking. And it's the same shift you would make with everything else as you scale. Start by doing, then design. But you can't have that conversation until you've done the doing. So to bring it all together, start recording everything, download Claude Cowork, start with a use case, not a course, design before you build, treat it like a person you're delegating to, think in steps, not single commands, and just start. Literally today. None of this requires technical knowledge. All of it requires the skills you already have as a business owner. Clarity on what you want, discipline in how you scope it, the willingness to start small and build from there, and the awareness that once you've got it working, the real opportunity is at the business level, not just the individual one. Just keep remembering, AI is a lever, so treat it like one. If you want to see the wider framework behind how I help founders build scalable, structured businesses that don't depend on them for everything, there is a link to our free workshop in the description. It's worth a watch to get started. Here's to getting you ahead of this while everyone else is still thinking about it.